What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Knockout Off-Road video. My name is Kyle, and today we are going to be doing another little maintenance video on the Comanche. Now, I've been having some serious issues with my wiring. I've actually got if you guys can see back there, I've got that wire unhooked from my cheap switch panel, and my rock lights have been having an issue where it's making that switch get so hot. They end up staying on. I can't switch it off. The wires are burning up. I actually had the cab fill up with smoke the other day due to my rock lights having a bad wire somewhere, bad wiring, and I'm just kind of over it, ready to solve some issues. So today, this video is sponsored by Auxbeam. Super excited to install this brand new AS series switch panel. Comes with everything. I've been using Auxbeam stuff for a couple years now, and I've had nothing but good feedback from it, good reviews on it, and I'm super excited to get the Comanche's wiring cleaned up because now I had to move my coolant overflow canister because I believe I'm going to mount the Auxbeam here, but as you can see, this is honestly kind of embarrassing, but this stuff's all been sitting here. I've got a bunch of crap down there for my E-fans, my rock lights. I've got interior lights. I've got these lights. Got the light bar in the rear for another rock light. Got all sorts of stuff, and all that stuff goes right now to this switch panel, which now I'm having issues with. So Auxbeam reached out to me and they sent me a kit, and I'm gonna show you guys what we got. All right, guys, in the box we've got the AS series slim switch panel, which is 8 gang. It's got toggle function, momentary switch, pulsed power. You can control it from your phone, from an app, and then you got the remote control, which I'm super excited about. I'll be able to stand outside of the Jeep and turn certain lights on that I want for winching someone up, anything. You guys know how it goes. So right off the bat, we've got, of course, our stickers. So we've got all sorts of underglow, rock, fan, whatever you want to put on the switch itself. This pack's got it. And then, of course, your instruction manual in here as well on how to install it. Looks like we got a waterproof cover for the switch panel itself. So here's the switch panel itself. It's super nice. Like I said, it's got 8 slots in it, and then these stickers go wherever you want on here. Different modes, power on, and this guy has a small can connector. Makes it super easy to install. So we'll set that aside for now. Now in here, you don't want to miss mounting brackets at the bottom of the foam, which I missed when I first started looking at this. I didn't even know it was in there. Now this is the hub assembly, we'll call it. And I've installed these before. They're super nice. This is the AS800 series to be specific. Extra switches here. Got a little tool to pull them out. And of course, here it is. Now all you got to do is power ground. And then this one, because it has a remote control, it's got a little, I don't know what to call it, little antenna plug there. It's got your 30 amps for probably the fans, and then you can go down from there all the way to 5. And you can change these out as well to beef it up a little more. That's no problem. But your power ground, all you gotta do is put it in there, and then run it to this guy in the cab, which then goes to the switch right here, and then you got your stuff. It's super easy to install, and it makes putting lights, putting fans, anything you want on your rig, truck, vehicle, daily driver, whatever you want, super easy. This guy we've got, let's see if I can't get this, see if I can get this open. Looks like we got a little adhesive strip here, and I'm sure it's magnetic, but this is the antenna that will be mounted probably in the bed of the Jeep. That way we can get signal for our remote control, because I'm definitely going to be using this. This is the remote control. It's nicer than my winch controller, if that says anything. And it comes with the battery. Look at that. Provide batteries. It's got controls to switch on any of your stuff. It actually has a battery in it already. I'm seeing that light up. So it comes with an extra battery, which is very nice. And this is magnetic, so you can slap it on anything and just leave it there. Right here, very important, we've got an 80 amp breaker for your power wire. Power going to the battery. You want to install this breaker, don't skimp out. Have any issues, that'll pop. Power and ground wires, which are very nice. And then we've got the insulating sleeves on the positive and negative wires. So if you guys can see that little picture in there, you get it, put it over the wires, and it kind of connects, makes it stop debris, water, whatever else gets in there. We've got this. This goes on the back of, you can run your wire here and out, and then this will get adhesive to the back of this, and then you can stick it essentially to your dash this way on your panel, anything, anywhere. We've got a wire splitter, and then we've got a small, it's like a small wire tap for your fuse box if you're using that kind of setup. What else do we have in here? We've got a wire for the accessory for power on this guy. We've got the mount for your switch panel itself. That'll get bolted to here, and you can mount it from there. That's super nice. Comes with a couple zip ties. What else we got? And then we've got hardware bags. Now underneath here, like I said, don't forget, it's underneath here. We've got a flush mount, and these are specifically for the switch assembly itself. So a flush mount right up there, and you've got plenty of options to flush mount it anywhere. And then this is my favorite one, is a 90-degree bent. You can put it on your fender anywhere, and then you bolt it in there as well. Now the bottom of this box, a nice feature that I like is this slot right here. This is where you run your wires up. Now if it's mounted flat and flush on a surface, all your wires can go underneath here and they get put right up in there. There's no exposed wires. It's super clean, super easy and nice to work with. And you guys can see that cutout right down there, which then goes into there. So without further ado, we are gonna make some more room in here and start the install process of the thing, and I'll take you guys along with it. We clean up this wiring and hopefully get these rocket lights working back again. So stay tuned, guys. Make sure you guys check out Auxbeam. They make great stuff. This stuff's awesome. Got a whole bunch of stuff. Their website's full of stuff. Lights, light bars, rock lights, wheel lights, anything you want. These switch panels specifically are extremely nice, and I'm very thankful they sent me this, so I'm excited to be working with Auxbeam on this one. Let's get this install started. This clutter, look at this thing. There's like 140 foot of just zip tied wire. There's relays here. All of this will go away because this stuff will go right to the Auxbeam switch hub. Now this angled bracket that I was telling you guys about that I really like, the reason I moved my the coolant overflow tank is because that was in this corner and I wanted the Auxbeam here. So this is a perfect spot for it. We're gonna mount this guy right there, and the holes down there in the bottom. There's 4 bolt holes. So we'll mount it there, nice and snug. And then the Auxbeam itself will get bolted right to this bracket and then get mounted essentially. So I get it in the somewhat the same spot right there. Just so the hood clears, it's nice and out of the way, it's easily accessible. You can open it, grab all your wires, and I actually have, now all of this stuff I highly recommend running your power and ground from that straight to your battery, but as you can see we're missing a battery. That's because the battery's in the bed of the Jeep. Now I have a 12 volt stud here which goes straight to the battery, and I have a good ground right here. And so we're going to be using those, and since it'll be right in this location, all my wiring will be nice and clean, tucked, and be right there. Super easy, it shouldn't be too bad, so without further ado, let's get this thing mounted and start chopping wires out, and probably losing about 50 pounds on the Jeep. Alrighty, we got her mounted here. I was gonna mount it the other way around, but I was thinking, why wouldn't you mount it this way? Because obviously you're looking at the Jeep right here. You got a wiring issue, or you gotta look at a fuse, boom, pop this up and open. All of your stuff is right here in the Auxbeam. So, I'll run my wires up through there. This bracket's got a cutout, like I was saying earlier, for the wires to run up through. That way it's nice and clean, and boom, right there. I'm super excited about this, guys. Now, next step, now that we have that, we're gonna run our power and ground to those studs that I was talking about just in a couple clips ago. We're gonna run our power and ground to that and make sure we mount our breaker properly. And then from there is the fun part. We can start hooking stuff up. Now, I forgot to mention that this switch panel changes, maybe I did mention it, I don't know, but this is the waterproof case for it. And now, if you guys didn't see the box, RGB switch panel has all these cool colors, and you can control that all from the app as well. So you can change the way this flashes, the way it looks, all sorts of stuff. So we'll get into that once we get it fully installed. But for now, we're going to hook up our power and ground, and then comes fun stuff. We'll start hooking up all of our fans, all our rock lights, and hopefully eliminate a lot of wiring issues. Then, after we get it all installed, or mid-install, I'm gonna start ripping out all of this stuff because this switch panel is old and I don't know, it's time for it to go. There's only 4 slots on it. This one's got 8, and Auxbeam one is a lot more efficient and nicely done. So. Obviously we've got our switch panel mounted, we've got our wires ran here, and I've just started disconnecting some of the 12 volt stuff down here. And this is basically the wiring mess that we're working with. So, all of this crap is gonna go away with this Auxbeam install. And I was looking for a breaker spot. I believe I'm gonna mount it. We're gonna mount it right there on the firewall. That way it's up, it's very easily accessible, because if anything ever happens, this will break. It says reset with a little sticker under there. And it'll be nice and easy, and then I can run my powers right there. The only problem I see is these are very small, the holes, and that's not Auxbeam's fault, but my stud down there for my 12 volt coming straight from my battery is much larger. And I've tried drilling these out before, I'm sure you guys have too, and it never ends up working well. You end up getting it twisted and ruining the whole thing. So I think I'm gonna slowly try drilling this one end out to fit over that. And I believe that's like a 1/2 inch stud, which now that I'm thinking about it, it's gonna take way too much meat out of this. So I think we're just gonna have to put a new terminal end on it, which is fine. I think I've got some more in the toolbox, but that's where we're at right now. We're going to get this guy. See if I can't do this all with one hand. We're gonna put this right here. Try not to get all this wiring in our way. It's kind of ticking me off. Okay, so that's got 1 bolt in it, 1 self-tapper. We're gonna put another one in it up top. Don't want anything coming loose, rattling around. Not too tight, because you'll end up cracking the breakers. I've learned that a couple times. So, now we've got that. Take this stud off, or this nut off the stud, and then from our Auxbeam, put the power on. Obviously it doesn't have power because we're not on the other end yet. We'll just tap that just in case anything was to happen. And just like that, we've got that part of it done. I'm gonna tuck this stuff up here so you guys can see instead of seeing this big old cobweb nest. And then they've got these waterproof, kind of help corrosion covers. So I will figure out what I'm gonna do with this end so it can go down there. Because you can't run power, I mean, you can run power straight from the Auxbeam and totally bypass a breaker, but don't do it. It's not recommended at all. I wouldn't even do it, and you guys have seen some of my work. So don't do it. We'll put this on there, and then I think I'm gonna put a new end down here, or see if I can drill it out. We'll see what we can come up with and then go from there. It is the next day and I'm just getting off work. Now we're starting this project again. Here's my pile of crap, loom, and just stuff we've taken out of it so far. So I'm super happy to have this nice and somewhat cleaned up. Don't judge my wiring too much. I'm working with what I got, doing the best I can. I've got my fan wires running right here. I had to reroute those, so those are running up here to the Auxbeam. And then I believe, what else do we got? We've got my underhood lights hooked up. I've got 2 KCs over there, just for when it's nighttime, we're working under the hood, which doesn't happen very often, but when we do have to, these lights are very nice. So I've got those hooked up. I've got the rock lights started. Now I don't know what I honestly had going on with the rear rock lights. I had all the fronts under these wheel wells like kind of separate, and the rears are coming up into the cab, which I kind of wish they were coming underneath the truck and going into the engine bay. So I am gonna have to, I'll try to go around this side. I'm gonna have to reroute that stuff and run a little bit of wiring. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. I've got the rock light wiring coming up right into here. And that was going to there before, but now I'm gonna be able to get rid of this, I believe, which will be very nice because my center console doesn't quite open all the way because of that. So that'll be nice to get rid of. The only relay I have is for my fuel pump, so I can also relocate that. And then this is my master shutoff switch, which kills all power to the Jeep. So I'm not gonna turn it on now because we got a bunch of wires exposed and stuff. But that's the master kill switch. Comes in super handy, just kill the battery and forget about it. Doesn't have to die or anything. But that's where we're at right now. We're going to try to sort out this rock light wiring because we have a ride coming up this weekend and it's probably not gonna start till about 6 o'clock on Saturday. So we're gonna need some lights. So we're gonna get that stuff sorted out. I have my main power harness for the Auxbeam running into here, and it just comes with a nice little connector like that. So then we will also find a spot in the cab for the switch panel itself. I have that running over here, down through the grommet in the firewall. So that's where we're at. We are going to, I think I'm gonna mount the Auxbeam really quick and kind of get that sorted out because I've been meaning to get that in and find a good spot for it. So let's get to it. Alrighty, I have found my spot for the Auxbeam. Right there. That way the passenger can access it and I can access it. Super nice mount. This thing ain't going nowhere. Time to get rid of this guy. This old cheap dusty thing. And then I got my wires ran under here. And then I just have a couple zip ties to cut. And we're all wrapped up with the mount. So that's the mount for the Auxbeam. Next step, like I said before, we got to get our rock lights all mounted up. But other than that, we're looking pretty good, guys. We're almost ready to fire this thing up and make sure everything works. Test the Auxbeam functions, play around with the remote a little bit, download the app, have it change colors on it and be all fancy and cool. So let's get to that step and I'll update you guys when I'm finished wrapping this thing up. All right, guys, we're all wrapped up. We've got the switch mounted, we've got our hub module mounted and all wired up. We've got all our lights working. I ended up figuring out the rock lights because I had no idea what I had going on before. So we've got the Auxbeam switch panel all wired up. That looks really nice. I'm pretty happy with it. There's actually an antenna wire that goes here, and I ran it out through the grill. I've got the antenna sitting right here, just magnetic mounted. There's also an adhesive mount, but the magnet mount works great for me because it can just sit kind of here in the bumper, out of the way. It won't get hit by nothing. But we're all wrapped up here. I've got the accessory wire ran. I've got everything. So we're gonna close that. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Everything looks really nice and clean. So now comes the fun part. Now we get to fire it up and test to make sure everything works because this thing has some awesome features to it. So we're gonna fire it up. Don't mind my fuel pump. And then they come with a sticker pack, and the sticker pack also covers these as well for the remote control side of it. But for now, I don't have the stickers on the remote. I just have them on the panel. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let's see here. got fan, and then I've got an arrow pointed to the fan because I've got 2 fans. I've got my rock lights, I've got my windshield lights, which are here and there. I've got my interior lights, I've got my under hood lights, and then these 2 are blank. This thing's really bright right now, which is another thing we can talk about here in a minute because this thing is fully customizable. Let's see. So I'll show you guys on the phone. There's a switch panel app that you can download, and it is Bluetooth. So we'll go here, select your controller. We've got a 8-gain controller. Well, first turn our Bluetooth on. It'll start searching. And okay, it says connected. So we'll go back. Now we've got all of these options. You guys can see it's changing. You can change your brightness, super bright, dim it down. Should kind of be nicer at night. You guys can kind of see my setup here now that it's not so bright. But I've got 2 empty slots here, which who knows what we'll put there. We will kind of use it, get used to it, and then figure out if we got to add anything. The Jeep's pretty set up right now how it is. I've got plenty of lights and rock lights and everything. So right now this works great for me. But for now, we're gonna play around with this app a little more. Like I said, we've got brightness. It's super bright. That might be too bright. But you can change all these colors. I think we're gonna leave it. Let's go pink. And then obviously you can dim it down. So fan, as soon as that comes on, there's the first fan. Then I've got the left arrow pointing to fan because I have 2 fans. Second fan, got my rock lights, got my windshield lights, got my interior lights, and then I've got my under hood lights, which you guys can't see. So from there, you can go to icon on the app, and then you can kind of put in all your stuff you have set up for it. Click mode, and I didn't know this, but this is super sweet. So if you want your fans on toggle, momentary, or pulsed, you have 3 different options, which obviously fans will just be a toggle switch. But my rock lights, I can have, let's see, pulsed, and turn the brightness up all the way. So now we hit our rock light switch. Look at these things. Straight party mode. So now we can mess with people in the woods. That's awesome. I did not know it did that. That is sweet. And it's super easy. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All you gotta do is change your settings on the app and you're good to go. So right now we'll leave it toggle, and then obviously they turn back off. But now they're just steady on. Just as easy as that, guys. Let's see what else we got. Interior lights, we can pulse those too. All right, flash warning, flash warning. And let's see here. You can make the pulse go slower, faster, which is wild. I'll probably have a seizure. So we're gonna leave those obviously how they are now, just so they're on. But the rock lights, we might be having some fun with that one. So guys, we are fully installed. We got it wired up. Everything's working good. We don't have any more wiring issues. Check out this old switch panel that I pulled out of the Comanche to replace it with the Auxbeam setup. I've got wires that are frayed, and inside here, it's getting a little warm. So this is the one that I had issues with. My rock lights were set up on this switch, and obviously something happened. I believe it was the switch itself that failed and got way too hot. I ended up burning these wires together. So this thing's gonna be going in the trash. There's no point in trying to reuse that. We'll just buy another one. More specifically, buy another Auxbeam for the Cherokee build, because I'm liking this thing so far. We are gonna be using it all the time. And also comes with this sweet remote. Like I said, it's got the antenna up front. Gotta turn my ignition back on. Keep thinking we're gonna end the video, but it's not done just yet. So, remote, and it's got a magnet on the back side. So, one, we know those are our fans. Two, that's the other fan. Three is our rock lights. That's awesome. Four, it's our windshield lights. Five, interior lights. Six, oh, it looks like we got a light out. Well, you guys get the point. This is awesome. Super excited to use all this stuff. We're gonna be using it this weekend, and put that right there. But for now, guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for sticking along with me and doing this install. I'm super excited to be working with Auxbeam. They've sent me the switch panel to review and make a video out of, so I wanted to put it out there to you guys. I've been using their stuff for a long time now, and no one's ever had any complaints. I haven't had any people tell me that they don't like Auxbeam stuff, so definitely check them out, guys. I'll leave the link to their website in the description. And you guys pick up a switch panel, some light bars, light pods, whatever you can find. They've got whip antennas. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video, guys. We'll be wheeling here soon. And don't forget, check out knockoutoffroad.com. Get you some t-shirts, get you a hat, get you some merch. And we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.